Hey plant lovers! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk all things plant care, home gardening, and how to keep your green friends happy and thriving. Now today's video is all about the snake plant, also known as Sansevieria or Dracaena trifasciata. It's often called the unkillable plant, perfect for beginners, right? That's exactly what I thought when I got mine. But surprise, surprise, it started going downhill. Leaves were drooping, turning yellow, even mushy at the base. I thought I was doing everything right, but my plant was clearly crying for help. So today, I'm sharing everything I did to prevent my snake plant from dying. If yours is struggling too, this video is for you. I'll walk you through 7 specific issues I dealt with, and what actually worked to fix them. Overwatering. Let's start with the biggest culprit, overwatering. When I first got my snake plant, I treated it like a regular houseplant. I had it on a weekly watering schedule. Every Sunday, boom, out came the watering can. But that was my first mistake. Snake plants are succulents, they store water in their thick leaves. They thrive on neglect and hate sitting in wet soil. By watering too often, I was basically drowning the roots. What I did instead was switch to the soak and dry method. I now only water when the soil is bone dry. In the summer, that's every 2 to 3 weeks. In winter, maybe once a month. And I started bottom watering, so the roots soak up only what they need. After making that change, the leaves firmed up and the yellowing stopped. It was like the plant breathed a sigh of relief. Poor drainage. Even though I reduced watering, I still noticed something wasn't right. The plant stayed wet for days, and that's when I realized, the pot had poor drainage. It was a plastic pot with no drainage hole. That's a huge no-no for snake plants. So I repotted it in a terracotta pot with a drainage hole. Terracotta is breathable, which helps pull moisture out of the soil. I also made my own soil mix, 2 parts cactus soil. 1 part perlite. 1 part coarse sand. This created a fast-draining environment where excess water wouldn't sit around and rot the roots. That change alone drastically improved my plant's overall health. Root rot, surgery time. By the time I figured out the drainage issue, the damage was already done. I took the plant out of its pot, and sure enough, the roots were brown, mushy, and smelled awful. Classic root rot. Here's what I did. First, I trimmed off all the mushy, black roots using sterilized scissors. Then I let the plant sit out overnight to callus over and dry. The next day, I repotted it in dry, fresh soil and didn't water for about 10 days. It took a few weeks, but slowly, the plant started showing signs of recovery. The outer leaves firmed up, and I noticed new shoots forming at the base. So if your plant's roots are in bad shape, don't be afraid to perform a little surgery. Low light. Here's another mistake I made. I kept my snake plant in a low-light corner of my living room. I assumed since snake plants are low-light tolerant, it would be fine. Wrong. Low-light tolerant doesn't mean thrives in the dark. Mine started looking pale and soft, and it completely stopped growing. I moved it closer to a bright, indirect light source, right near a north-facing window. No direct sun, but plenty of natural light. Within weeks, I saw improvement. Leaves firmed up, new pups emerged, and the color looked richer. Light is energy. If you want your snake plant to thrive, it needs enough of it. Temperature stress. Next up, temperature changes and cold drafts. My snake plant was near a window that got really chilly at night during winter. I also had it near a heating vent at one point, so it was getting blasted with hot air during the day and cold air at night. Not a good combo. Snake plants prefer stable temperatures between 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 27 degrees Celsius. They really don't like sudden drops or blasts of hot/cold air. So I relocated mine to a spot with more consistent temperature and no drafts. That change alone made it much more resilient, especially through seasonal changes. Pest infestation. One day I noticed tiny brown spots and a few webs on the leaves. Yup, spider mites. I didn't think snake plants attracted pests, but stressed plants can definitely become targets. Here's how I tackled it. I wiped the leaves down with a soft cloth and water to remove the mites. Then I sprayed the entire plant with neem oil solution, about once a week for a month. I also isolated the plant from others during treatment. After a few weeks, the pests were gone. Now I check my plant regularly and wipe the leaves down every couple of weeks as a preventative. Root-bound issues. Even after fixing watering, drainage, light, and pests, my plant still wasn't growing much. That's when I realized it was root-bound. I gently removed the plant from its pot and saw that the roots had formed a tight circle around the base, no room left to expand. So I moved it to a slightly larger pot, not too big, and used fresh soil. That gave it space to grow, and within a few weeks, I saw baby pups sprouting up. If your plant looks healthy but just isn't growing, check the roots, it may need more space. Cleaning and rotation. Here are 2 small habits that made a big difference. 1. Wiping the leaves every couple of weeks with a damp cloth to remove dust. Dust can block light and reduce photosynthesis. 2. Rotating the pot every week or 2. This ensures all sides of the plant get even exposure to light, helping it grow evenly and stay upright. So those are the 7 key things I did to prevent my snake plant from dying, and bring it back to life. From watering smarter to adjusting light, fixing root rot, and controlling pests, each step played a role in the plant's recovery. If your snake plant is struggling, I hope this video gives you a solid plan of action. And remember, plants take time to heal. Be patient, stay consistent, and your snake plant can make a full comeback like mine did. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more plant care tips, and drop a comment below with your own snake plant stories or questions. I love hearing from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.